I am going to cap some of these mushrooms and remove the gills. Strangely enough, these were some of the good mushrooms that we saw this morning, and the gills aren't very dark on them, but usually I remove the gills for two reasons. They hold more crab meat when you remove the gills, and it doesn't turn the crab meat dark.
So you just scooping out the loose stuff with a spoon?
A spoon, yes. I prefer to use a plastic spoon. It's a little bit more forgiving, and you don't crush the mushroom as badly.
Okay, this is a pound of picked crab meat.
Pound of picked crab meat. What I'm trying to do is to keep the most of the integrity of the lump there and just gently go through. The best part about the jumbo lump is you usually don't have very many shells because they're dealing with mostly with the back fin, the biggest part of the crab. So you have a tendency of not having the most shells with this, as you would with what they call the special or the deluxe, which is the majority of the whole crab. There's one right there.
And it's just experience of feeling it as you go through.
You can, yes, once you kind of get the hang of it, you can feel it right as it goes through. These ladies are usually pretty good about getting most of the shells out of it, especially when you do. Now with the lump, like you say, you're only taking the back fin, the biggest part of the crab, out, so you have less of a tendency to get your shells in there. But if you didn't have one or two shells in your crab meat, you wouldn't know it was real. The yellow stuff that you see in here is just some of the fat that's in the crab meat, or in the crab itself, and I prefer to keep it in there. Some people like taking it out, but I prefer to keep it in there just
add flavor.
Gives it extra flavor. So realistically, that's just about it. All the shell we got out of that pound of crab meat. I think I did throw one piece in the trash, but that is it.
3 or 4 is all.
3 or 4 is all. So that lady gets a gold star for doing hers. Okay, let's see. To this, we add 1 whole egg. Some people like to use just egg yolks only because they feel it gives it a little bit more of a fluffy texture. I prefer to use the whole egg because I think it gives it better flavor. The juice of 1 lemon. Of course, just squeeze it into your hand just in case there's any seeds. It's easier to take it out of your hand than it is to try to pick it out of the crab.
Fish them out. One whole lemon juiced. 1
whole lemon juiced. Depending on the size of the lemon, this is a fairly small lemon. You use a whole lemon when you get, for some reason, the lemons this year have been running either very small or extremely large. So if they are on the big side, you can get away with using a half a lemon, but a little extra lemon juice never hurts. Okay, and what we've got here is 1 tablespoon of mayonnaise.
Real mayonnaise.
Real mayonnaise. Don't use that imitation light stuff. And 2 tablespoons of my hot mustard. You can either use a Dijon mustard, or if you can find a good gourmet hot mustard, that's preferred. The Dijon's not bad, it's just that I prefer a little bit of just a sweet hot taste. You can use regular prepared mustard, but you're still not going to get the best flavor. So if you can, there's a couple good champagne mustards out that are really good in here also. in, of course, some seasoning to taste, but looks about right based on experience. And you can never have enough fresh cracked pepper. And there's no other better way to do this than get your hands in it. And you try to be as gentle as you can when you're folding it together. You
don't want to break the crab
up. You
up.
still don't want to break the crab up too much. It's, you know, you're going to break some of it up, but it's best to try to leave some of the lump whole. Now, the difference between this mixture and my crab cake mixture is not much. I would add a 1/4 cup of breadcrumbs to this, either you can say fresh, or if you have to, use the canned ones in a pinch, and 3 to 4 squirts of Worcestershire sauce. It's not as important with this mixture as it is with the crab cakes. Once I get the mixture together with the crab cakes, I would keep it covered in the refrigerator 4 or 6 hours, just for it to firm up, for it to set up a little bit, so the crab cakes hold together a little bit better. We're going to take the mushrooms, just going to give them a little brush of olive oil, just give them a little bit more moisture.
It sort of seals the bottom, keeps the juices from the crab.
Yes, it seals the bottom and keeps the juices from running out. Biggest mistake people make with mushrooms is they'll bring them back from the store and they'll see a little bit of the mushroom soil on them, and their first reaction is, ew, I can't eat that, I'm going to have to wash it with water. And that's the biggest mistake you can make with mushrooms, is washing them with water. The mushroom soil, as we saw, is completely sterile. So, you can use a fine bristled brush to brush them off, or you can just brush it off a little bit with your hands, but the majority of the time it'll come off of them anyway through the cooking process. Most people eat quite a bit of dirt in their life anyway, so a little bit more is never going to hurt you. Okay, we've got those. Just pull a bit of mixture out. You don't really want to pack it in there too hard. You just want to put in there light enough just to top them off. Same thing, you can pile them up a little bit if you want, but I prefer to get more mushrooms for my pounded crab meat. But you definitely want to put enough in there so they don't look skimpy. So you want to make sure people think they're getting a nice full mushroom. Big lump on there. We'll save that for one of the bigger mushrooms. Depending on the size of the mushrooms, these on average will take about somewhere close to an hour, maybe 45 minutes to maybe an hour and 20 minutes to cook, depending on the exact temperature of the fire in this.
Well, they say the Grillmeister part of it, so we're going to have to cut the Grillmeister part out.
What temp's your grill?
It's right around 225 right now. 225, 250 is the ideal temperature for these. Actually, you can bump it up to 250. It won't hurt them at all. I'd like to cook these a little bit on the warmer side just because it puts more of a crispy looking coating on the mushrooms themselves.
On the top?
On the top, yes. And like I say, the portobellos themselves, they can, they can take that heat, no problem at all. And with them sitting right there, cupped up on the tray, all the moisture will stay right in there. The crab meat will stay nice and moist, but it will have a nice crispy coating on it.
And how long are they going to be in there?
I'd say roughly 45 minutes, maybe 45 minutes to an hour. We'll
Okay.
check them at 45 anyway.
All right.
Okay, they've been on probably just about an hour. And
We've been out here that long?
yeah, we've been out here that long. And they are definitely done. You can see the moisture is definitely there.
Yeah, there it comes.
So, of course, that's the best part about keeping the moisture stays on the crab from the bottom up. And like you say, you still get the crispiness or a little bit of color to them, and then you still get the moisture locked in there.
You're never gonna taste this. Done to perfection.
Good enough to eat, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Delicious.